Welcome to Haven's Home Buying 101 video series, sponsored by BC Housing and Associa BC Incorporated. My name is Shayne Ramsay and I'm the CEO of BC Housing. I'm in a conversation today with Jamie Squires, the Vice President and Managing Broker at Fifth Avenue Real Estate Marketing Limited, a leading expert in Metro Vancouver's home building and buying market. Welcome, Jamie. Let's start by asking you to tell us about some of the emerging housing forms and products in Metro Vancouver.
So there's a couple of new emerging housing product types coming out onto the market. A really new popular one is what I call rooftop decks. These are usually located on top of townhomes. What they do is give added space. So some townhomes are now back to back. So instead of no yard or outdoor space, you get a nice rooftop deck. Allows you to take advantage of the views, especially if the project is nestled into a hillside or on a hilltop. And some of them have yards and rooftop decks available, so you can use both and enjoy the outdoor space more so in our mild climate here in Vancouver. Another emerging housing form is the row home. Some municipalities are calling it non-strata row home, but row homes can be strata or non-strata, just like townhomes and single-family homes, which would be called a bare land strata. It's a form of architecture and speaks more to how the porch looks, but having a non-strata option available is very appealing to a lot of home buyers out there today. Finally, it's not really new, but more and more popular today is the Master-On-Main Townhome. It's a bit of a wider footprint, but allows the master bedroom to be on the same level as all of the living area, the kitchen, and all of that, so that there's no need for the homeowner to go up and down stairs unless they choose to or have guests. These come in usually 2 or 3 level options. Again, great for downsizers, empty nesters, or larger, more mature families with older children, and they want to create a little bit more separation from the parents, but still be in the same household.
Thank you, Jamie. Home buyers also want to know what neighborhoods are trending in the market, so could you describe some of those for us?
I would say there's 4 areas trending in the market, or 4 neighborhoods. One of them would be Surrey City Centre, which has got 3 SkyTrain stations, high-rises, low-rises, townhome, and stacked townhome opportunities. It's a growing epicenter for Metro Vancouver and is set to become what Mississauga is to Toronto in Ontario. It's a 20-minute SkyTrain ride to downtown Vancouver. It has a university district with its own SFU campus, Coquitlam University campus. It has a large Surrey Memorial Hospital with its own pediatric emergency, which is the next best thing to Children's Hospital downtown if you can't get there. Surrey Centre is the it place to be. Following that, I would say the city of Abbotsford in the Fraser Valley is a huge epicenter, boasting its own international airport, large mall. A lot of development is coming there, in addition to the city hall. They are banking on about 200,000 people coming to Abbotsford in the next 10 years and preparing for that. They are preparing a new bus loop with more rapid bus to get to the rapid transit available in Surrey and coming to Langley. Finally, the town centre, Willoughby Town Centre in the township of Langley is an emerging neighbourhood. It's about 60 to 75% complete with residents above businesses, a walkable community about a hop, skip, and a jump away from the Carboth bus loop, which takes you direct on a beeline to rapid transit and or over the bridge right into Metro Vancouver. Finally, Aldergrove is the next it neighbourhood of Langley. The township of Langley is putting a lot of money into Aldergrove right now. They've already started with the brand new rec centre that got completed about 2 years ago now with water slides and everything. There's been lineups since it opened. It's got a lot of development coming and a brand new town centre on the way.
Given the uncertain market conditions and your exposure to multiple developers, what is your take on consumer confidence in the marketplace right now? Are people buying or are they holding off due to COVID-19?
From March 11th until about just after the May long weekend, every sales center in Metro Vancouver was pretty much closed due to COVID-19, the rules, making sure everyone was safe, keeping social distancing to flatten the curve. After May long weekend, we moved to stage 2, where sales centers were allowed to reopen with proper protocols in place for everyone's safety. From this point on, we've had an influx of visitors and buyers to every sales center come in. We had an influx of online registration from basically April through May because people couldn't get in, information was being emailed, People did want to wait to actually see the product before making final decisions, and once they could get in, they were able to purchase. They felt that the new homes were actually safer to buy because no one has actually lived in them before, so they're essentially germ-free. Any construction or finishing crews, there's a thorough construction clean done right after, so they feel much safer moving into one of these homes than, say, a resale or home that's been lived in by a family prior.
Thank you, Jamie. Are you still seeing pre-sales as an option in the market and available for purchase?
Yes, definitely. Pre-sales will always be an option as the developers get loans from the bank to fund construction, and the banks actually require pre-sales to give the first draw or fund so that construction can even begin. So banks will require anywhere from 50 to 80% of a building to be sold before that first draw will be funded to even start to dig the hole. All these buildings you see under construction are pretty much sold out, if not 100% sold out by the time that they're completed for this reason. So pre-sales will always be an option, or construction would pretty much come to a standstill as the banks would refuse or stop lending the construction loans that allow them to happen. Because of this, we actually put 3 projects on hold due to COVID-19 as an example, and because of the pent-up demand we talked about earlier with the online registrations, decided to soft launch them in June and July. All 3 of these sites are over 50% sold out of the released inventory without advertising that were open to the public. All 3 of these projects will advertise open and selling to the public this fall. That's why it's actually really important to register early on the coming soon sites to make sure you get an opportunity to be amongst the first to purchase in the new development projects.
Thanks, Jamie. An important question that a buyer often has is, how do they get on a developer's list to get access to pre-sale developments so that they can see some of the best units in the project?
Well, when you see developments advertising coming soon or coming soon, register today, I really encourage you to actually go online to the websites posted and register today. That's the database that the sales team will contact first before the project opens to the public and is notified for walk-in. Anybody can come in and take a look traffic. That gives you the access to be amongst the first to see the homes and have an opportunity to purchase as well, pretty much at any development community in Metro Vancouver or the Fraser Valley.
Thanks, Jamie. Following up on that last question, should a buyer use a realtor when buying pre-sale from a developer?
Well, it's really up to the buyer. If the buyer is really experienced and understands the buying process, contracts, knows how to work with lawyers, understands their own financing and all of that, then you can represent yourself. However, most people should use a realtor if you don't have that experience, and I would bet that most people out there don't. Most people aren't working with contracts. They're not in the new home industry. People like myself, salespeople, and others on the new development sales floor, whether licensed or not, they do work for and or represent the developer on those transactions. So it would just make sense for someone that doesn't have that experience to have their own representation in order to look out for their best interest on the deal that's about to be done. And that just ensures that everyone's protected and that it's a win-win relationship for both the buyer and the seller in the end.
Thanks so much, Jamie, for taking the time to share your market knowledge. More new home information can be found at the Fifth Avenue website. And if you have found this video useful, check out my other industry expert interviews in the Haven Home Buying series at Homebuilders Association Vancouver. Thank you for joining us, and the best of luck in the search for your new home.